I am back, and so is the magic. Welcome to Just the Magic Monday. Your astrology forecast for the week of October 3rd to October 9th. What can be expected cosmically and how we're going to feel this energy here on planet Earth daily and practically. I am here every single Monday morning except for last Monday. We'll get into that in a second. Here to break down what the astrology has in store and how you can co-create with the cosmos to lead to more alignment and magic within your reality. Okay, so we have quite the week. We have quite the week, my love. So we have an Aries full moon, which is really this beacon of vulnerability and authenticity. We have Sun opposite Chiron, illuminating and reshaping our connection to our wounds in a brand new way. We have Mercury trine Pluto, which is the final time this aspect will occur. Because this happened a few times. It's been a central part of the Mercury retrograde story. And can I just say, Mercury retrograde in Libra has been a freaking doozy. So now we have some slow and steady energy, some forward momentum. And what's fascinating is that after this Aries full moon, we are officially in eclipse season. We are officially in eclipse season after this Aries full moon, my loves. When I tell you October is one of the most transformative, pivotal months of the year, it's a doozy. It is a doozy, my love. So if you want the full scoop on that, make sure to click the join button to find out more about Magic Monthly, where I break down the month's astrology, both into a visual printable calendar as well as a digital astrology planner, so that you can not only be aware of the energy that this month has in store, but co-create with it. So click the join button to find out more about that. Let me know what you all are sipping on to start your Monday. I have my Magic Mind matcha latte, and I'm so pleased to report that this week's Magic Monday is powered by Magic Mind. Magic Mind is the world's first productivity drink, which is supercharged with adaptogens, which help decrease stress, nootropics, which promote cognition as well as that flow state, matcha, which is a healthier form of caffeine, and honey to just promote happiness and put a little sweetness in your day. And some of you may know I just got back from a trip to Colorado. It was absolutely stunning. I was there as an astrologer for a retreat, doing everybody's charts and just sharing some cosmic insights. It was such a cool opportunity. And I was staying in this cabin in the Colorado mountains with the most inspiring group of women. When I tell you, these are women who are living in alignment with their birth charts. They are absolutely anchoring the highest vibration possible of their celestial blueprint. It was honestly really motivating to be around. And it was so interesting because most of these women were moms. Most of these women were running their own businesses and in really important high-level positions at work. And the one who drank the most coffee in the cabin was me. I was like struggling because it was like a couple of us drank coffee, but they would only brew like halfway, and it like wasn't my retreat. I was just there as the astrologer. So I didn't want to overstep my bounds and like be making more coffee, but it really illuminated to me how much coffee I drink, an obscene amount of coffee that I drink, and noticing the energy that these women had and how they started their day without coffee was so motivating to me. And you may hear my voice, I've been getting over being sick. So both seeing individuals start their day without coffee and realizing the obscene amount that I drink, as well as having some health struggles and just wanting to promote health in a variety of ways, really made coming back to Magic Mind the most aligned decision for me. It's been really helpful in getting myself off of coffee, or at least weaning myself off of coffee. I've been doing half calf and supplementing it with some Magic Mind. And when I tell you, coming back, I had a ton of videos to do. I've been behind on a ton of stuff, and Magic Mind has been so helpful in putting me in a state of flow that I can just get it all done. I love taking it by itself or making it into a latte, as I've done here. And a lot of you know when you're sick, you just have brain fog. And this has been super helpful in just snapping me into alignment and just allowing me to chug through all of the videos and the ratings that I am catching up on. And Magic Mind taps into your magic. It is a natural way to start your day. It allows you to have a focused, more calm form of caffeine rather than just being jittery and all over the place. And Mars is in Gemini, loves, and with the upcoming Mars retrograde in Gemini, our biggest enemy is distraction, okay? Our biggest asset is our attention span, and Magic Mind works with your brain in order to allow you for focused clarity, which is so important with Mars and Gemini, to stay on track to handle this and then this without feeling overwhelmed or feeling scattered or all of the things. Loves, I have a code for you. You can use code Comet 20 to save 20% off your Magic Mind order. I highly recommend it. How fun would that be if we're sipping the same drink, listening to Magic Monday? Cheers, loves. I'm gonna sip this off camera. Thank you so much to Magic Mind for sponsoring this video. I'm so grateful to have you part of Magic Monday. And without further ado, let's take it into Vibe Check of the Week. Okay, loves, so in Vibe Check of the Week, we liken the week's astrology to a real life situation so that we can begin to tune into the themes of the astrology aspects and how they could come to the surface within our world. And this week's Vibe Check is a story from my life. I was looking at the aspects and I was like, this looks like exactly what I've been going through. So I'm going to share a story and then I'll liken it to why it reminds me of this week's astrology. Firstly, I just want to say I've missed you all so much. I am so sorry I was not able to post last Monday. It literally broke my heart. If you are new here, I've posted Magic Monday every single Monday since April 2020, rain or shine, whatever was happening within my world. Posting Magic Monday was a grounding constant within my world, and to miss a Monday truly felt like failure. I really haven't been home for like the past month, truly. I spent about 3 weeks in New York, which was amazing. Then I came home for 2 days, filmed next week's Magic Monday, and I left for Colorado for a work trip. And I made the mistake of just being like, oh, I'll just edit on the plane. And when I was on the plane, I was devastated to see that my microphone was muted. And when I tell you, I was in the middle seat on this plane on the way to this retreat, which again, I'm being hired as an astrologer. So right when I get there, I need to be on. I need to be on all weekend, so present, doing tons of readings, right? And I was just sobbing because I truly felt like I was letting you guys down. I was so ashamed of myself. I felt like a failure, truly is the best way that I could describe it. I was in the middle seat sobbing. The two dudes next to me were like, is this girl okay? It was like 6 a.m. like early morning flight. I'm just sitting there crying because I'm like, do I film there? And then when I got to Colorado, I got very, very sick. And I'm still not 100%. So there was just so many factors in my life that were like, slow down. And I really felt this pressure, both in the retreat, like I needed to walk in and be this sparkly presence, you know, Haley Comet. There was no room for Haley the human. I just needed to be fully Haley Comet the astrologer, right? As well as my YouTube channel. Like I just wanted to be Haley Comet, the person who constantly guides you into the week ahead and never, you know, has a human moment and is never sick and whose microphone never defaults. It's almost like I wasn't allowing myself the space to just be a human, right? And I had these pressures on myself that I needed to project this energy of strength and of almost like not even being a human, right? Just being Haley Comet. Like there is Haley the human outside of Haley Comet the astrologer. And even at the retreat, I was like, they're gonna see me be a normal person. They're gonna see me brush my teeth and eat a salad and try to not drink coffee. All of the things that I am. I'm like, is it gonna be less magical? Because normally when I do retreats, I don't get flown out. I just kind of buzz in for the night of the astrology readings and buzz out. And I was just like, oh my gosh, they're gonna see me be human. And even my YouTube audience, when I'm not able to post that because I'm sick and my, you know, equipment fluked, they're going to see that I'm human. And it was so freeing and validating to see my humanity acknowledged. Like at that retreat, I was clearly sick. I still powered through with the readings and I gave readings that I'm very proud of, but you know, I was not 100%. And with my YouTube audience, like I basically popped in and was like, guys, I'm so sorry. I just can't this week. I just literally cannot. The 2 hours of footage that I filmed is unusable because the microphone's muted for some reason. And I'm just exhausted. Right when I get back from Colorado, I have so much work to catch up on. There's just no way. There's just no way. And it was fascinating because in both situations, the retreat as well as with you all, you know, as being vulnerable, it's like, I don't feel well. Like there's a human. I'm not just Haley Comet. Like I tried to film ahead. Like I really let myself down. It's really something that I pride myself on, being able to post every single Monday. But it was really so beautiful, both at the retreat and just with you all, just how kind you were and how understanding and how you guys were like, please just take this break, just take this rest. And the people at the retreat, you know, they didn't think it was any less magical. They actually enjoyed the opportunity to get to know me, the human, outside of the craft. And that so reminds me of this week's astrology, because this Aries full moon conjoins Chiron, and Chiron is the wounded healer. And with Aries, it's self. It's our messy, rawest expression. And with the conjunction to Chiron and the opposition to Venus involved in this full moon, there's almost this energy where we're just putting our defenses down. It's like, guys, I'm sick. Guys, I'm a human. I'm not just this combination of pixels on a screen, right? I'm not just this magical astrologer who buzzes into the retreat and then buzzes out and lives on Mars. Like, I'm a human, right? And it's so beautiful to see that even when you let down those defenses, when you finally give up, you're like, guys, listen. Like, I have flaws. I'm struggling. I'm not doing well. To see that really be allowed and that authenticity to be celebrated, and to furthermore bring that into my readings, because that was what was interesting at the retreat. A lot of those women I have done readings for before, and because I was sort of sick and kind of going through it in my own way, I was really able to hold some space in a way that I hadn't prior, because I was almost letting down the mask. Like, I'm not perfect. And sometimes when we try to project this energy of perfection and that nothing's wrong with us, it's hard for people to relate to us. And again, when we talk about someone's astrology, we're talking about the most raw components of their being. And it's hard to really go deep and be intimate with someone who's trying to pretend like they've got it all together. There's just this allowance this week around being like, guys, I don't have it all together. I'm vulnerable, I'm messy, I make mistakes. My health is going through it. I'm exhausted, I'm overwhelmed. And I'm a human, and my vulnerability is part of my power. It is part of my strength. It is part of my magic. And again, I just want to say thank you so much for understanding. It was not my intention to skip a week, and it's not my intention to skip another one. But when I say my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health deeply needed the opportunity to come back from that retreat and sleep, 16 hours was how long I slept. I am so grateful that you all allow me the space to be myself and take what it is that I need, because my Virgo moon and rising doesn't always internally grant me that space. So thank you all. I love you. And without further ado, let's take it into day-by-day breakdown. I do want to highlight all times will be PDT, as that's where I am located, and you can reference below the timestamps to jump to a particular day. So without further ado, let's take it to Monday, October 3rd. So good morning. Happy Monday, October 3rd. The moon is in Capricorn all day, which is the moon's detriment. It doesn't perform as well there. And I want you to be conscious around not beating yourself up. The Capricorn moon squares Chiron. It finishes off the day conjoining Pluto. There's lots of productive, juicy, yummy energy in the in-between. Like we have the Capricorn moon trining Uranus in Taurus, trining Mercury in Virgo, sextiling Neptune in Pisces. But it feels like the sort of productivity that comes after beating yourself up. You know what I mean? When you're just like, do the things. If you don't do the things, you are a failure. You've got to do the things. Like my meltdown on the plane, right? Looking at the footage, realizing my microphone was muted, realized I wasted 2 hours, and was like, do I cancel the retreat? Do I go home? Do I film there? Do I film after my late flight on Monday night? What do I do, right? It's almost like high results and high and peak efficiency, but coming out of beating yourself up, being like, you are a failure if you don't get Magic Monday on time. You are a failure if you don't, get great feedback on that report. You are a failure if your business doesn't double your numbers from last week. Like Capricorn moon is effective, but there's always this energy around, you could be doing more. You could be doing more. You're a failure. Like, come on. So on Monday, I just want you to be gentle with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Of course, there's productive energy. So there's definitely, and with the conjunction of Pluto, and the trine to Mercury building to trine Pluto for the final time, there is focused energy. I just want you to be mindful of the dialogue taking place within your head. Are you seeking these results because you're like, you're a failure if you don't do this? Or are you seeking it because you're like, I deserve to have this project that I feel proud of? I want you to be mindful of it and to know that your mistakes are not a reflection of you. As I highlighted, I went down, truly, one could only describe it as a spiral on that plane. I was like, you are a failure. Why do you even have a YouTube channel? They deserve an astrologer who posts their horoscope every single Monday. What are you doing? Why are you on this work trip? Like, I'm telling you, with the conjunction of Pluto, this is like a downward spiral. or an upward spiral. So try to spiral upward. I do want to suggest that. I forget the book that I read about it. If anybody's curious, comment below and I'll try to look through my titles and see if I still have it, if I didn't sell it. That's my toxic trait, is that I'm constantly selling books to my local used bookstore to be able to get other books. Anyways, but I was reading this book and it was talking about a upward spiral. There's downward spirals, right? Where you're and this is the worst and everything's ruined. I'm telling you, on that flight, I was crying because Magic Monday was muted, and then I was not used to this airline. They came up and they had a little beverage cart, and I was a coffee, and they were that'll be $4.50, and I was never mind. When something so little just sets you off, you're already spiraling, and then you're just and they're trying to charge me $4.50 for this coffee. Southwest would not do me like this. Just be mindful of that on Monday. But there's also, the reason I referenced the book, upward spiral, where it's just noticing one thing that you're grateful for, and then one song that you're grateful for, and then one other thing, allowing yourself to continually focus in on the things that are going well, even when so much of you just feels like it's the end of the world. Something to be mindful of on Monday, okay? Find the magic, my loves. It does exist, but it might take some really spotlighting it, and it might take some gentleness within your inner landscape, but it does exist. And then the moon is void after that conjunction to Pluto, which again, go to bed, don't deep dive on Reddit. Just go to sleep, okay? I'm telling you, Pluto is obsessive energy, okay? It's energy where you are beating yourself up for that work mistake, or beating yourself up so scared that you're not gonna be able to sell the script, or just beating yourself up. Just go to sleep, take a pause. Capricorn is an earth sign, so ground down into your body and get some sleep. And the moon starts its void at 8:49. And it was so fun having you guys chime in on the missing part of the sentence. If the moon is void, important tasks you must avoid is the finishing of the sentence. If you know, you know, if you were there on that Magic Monday. So on Tuesday the 4th, the Aquarius moon trines the Libra sun, as well as the Libra Venus, which is supportive around connection, harmony, collaboration, all of the good things, spotlighting beauty. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I can't believe I didn't get to chat with you about Venus entering Libra, but this is such an harmonious, lovely energy. We are more likely to really see and celebrate the beauty in life, the beauty within ourselves, the beauty and harmony within our connections. We're in the mood to enjoy life and enjoy the connection with others. And particularly on Tuesday, super aligned as it relates to teamwork, as it relates to meetings, as it relates to connecting to the big picture. And truly over the 4th and the 5th, the building air trine, because then it pulls in Mars in Gemini and Saturn in Aquarius. There's all of this energy around teamwork makes the dream work, collaboration. This is just to relate it to the vibe check, to give some nuance to it. This was when I just reached out and was hey guys, I don't know if I'm gonna make this happen. I am so sorry. And it's let's strategize. Let's try to find a solution. Should you film there? Should you film on Monday? How are we gonna solve the situation? Let's work together. And thankfully you guys were it's okay, just take a week. And I'm so grateful for that, because I got sick soon after. So my physical, mental, and emotional health deeply needed that. But this is the energy where it's let's put our head together. There's got to be a solution. Let's be logical. Let's break this down. Let's play to everybody's strengths and abilities. This is the energy where harmony reigns within the workplace. This is group project energy where it's okay, you're really good at PowerPoints. You're really good at presentations. Let's all have our little gift and bring our little gift to the group effort. Let's attune to the big picture, right? Saturn and Mars in Aquarius, and let's break down the steps that are needed, right? It's lovely when it comes to harmony, teamwork, all of the things, really supportive as it comes to mental, intellectual facilities. So activate that. And with all this great airy energy, just being mindful not to brush yourself under the rug too much. It's interesting because the Aries full moon, we'll chat more about it, but it really is this illumination of self versus other, and how it is that we sacrifice components of ourself in order to keep the peace for others, or be what others want us to be, or project what's necessary for other people. So just being cautious that your desire for harmony and for everyone to get along, make sure that you're not putting yourself under the rug or not prioritizing yourself. A solution is possible, teamwork is possible, collaboration is possible. Wednesday the 5th is when the Grand Trine really perfects, but I do want to let you know there is kind of a wrench in it. Again, teamwork that comes out of a fluke. Keep in mind, Mercury is direct now, but it's moving slow and steady. It's still going through its shadow, right? So it's still having that trickster energy. So just being cautious and mindful of that, especially with the square to Uranus. A lot of times this can be linked to strange weather, bizarre weather, ups and downs as it relates to technology, things of the nature, my mic malfunctioning. And what's so funny, guys, it's Libra season, so allow me to be a bit vain for a second? Can we just appreciate the outfits that never got their opportunity to shine, okay? Good morning all, my name is Comet and welcome to Just on the Magic Monday. I tried to film Magic Monday twice. So as I highlighted, once before I went to Colorado and once when I returned to Colorado. Both were muted. Both footage was unusable. The Cosmos were like, nope, but I switched out the battery. So I'm Cosmos, Mercury retrograde, please, please, please allow this video to work. I can't. But all I want to say on Wednesday is allow space for things to go wrong and malfunctions. You cannot make the microphone unmute. It's frustrating, it's annoying. You can freak out about it, but again, it's not going to change the result. Get your heads together, be solution oriented, and just muscle through it. The moon moves up with Saturn, so sometimes things are bitter pills to swallow. Dang, I really didn't want to refilm this. Dang, I do not have space to refilm this. Dang, I'm letting people down, but I need to face it head on and just know I can't change the past. All I can do is build the future. And I do want to highlight that the moon is void at 3:46 p.m. PDT. So please be conscious around trying to get a bulk of your work tasks, your responsibilities done earlier in the day so that you can enjoy the rest of your day. I mean, it is an Aquarius moon, trine Mars and Gemini, so Wednesday would be great to do some sort of physical activity, particularly if there was some sort of frustrating work situation or malfunction or weather situation. Just move some energy physically or do something active, preferably with a friend. Hit up your workout buddy. Do something active that evening. On Thursday the 6th, the moon enters dreamy, idealistic Pisces at 5:47 a.m. So do keep in mind the moon is still void prior to that point. When the moon enters Pisces at 5:47, that essentially breaks the void or ends the void. So just being conscious if you are located elsewhere in the world to try to not tackle the most important meeting of your world or the most important pitch of your world until the moon has entered Pisces. And keep in mind, we're building to a full moon. When the moon is full, people are a little wacky, and that's not just astrologers who say that. That's bartenders who say that, EMTs who say that, especially with the moon in Pisces. We're feeling a lot is coming to the surface. We are extra sensitive, and just with the moon in Pisces, allowing yourself the space to feel what's coming to the surface and feel it totally. And on the 6th, you know, we can be emotional. Allow your emotions to get bigger and bigger as this full moon gets bigger and bigger. And I just need to highlight, this is such a romantic, dreamy combo, the Libra sun with the Pisces moon. Does anybody have that? Comment below. It's such a magical combo, I think, because both are very idealistic. They want to see the beauty in life. They have this romanticism that they inject into everything that they do. So on Thursday, yes, your emotions can be getting bigger and bigger along with the full moon, but allowing yourself to see the beauty in those emotions, like allowing yourself to feel them in their totality, allowing for those sad sads and those happy happies, because it really does truly deepen the experience. So Mercury also trines Pluto. Now this has happened a couple times because this was the core part of Mercury retrograde. And with Mercury trine Pluto, it's deepening our voice, it's deepening into our power, being able to focus on what it is that we are attuned to, as well as with Mercury Pluto, it can create this tunnel vision energy. And with Mercury and Virgo, that can be towards our flaws. That can be, you know, me on the plane freaking out, feeling like I was such a failure because I wasn't able to get Magic Monday up on time. Or you can use that to kind of hyper focus on what it is that you want to create. Like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I came to Magic Monday with this renewed sense of connection to myself and alignment around showing up for myself so that I can show up for you all. Like with Pluto, it does get to the core of our message or of our magic. And truly, Pluto is the overall theme this week because it does station direct on Saturday. So there's kind of a Plutonian week, and Pluto goes deep, okay? And it's going deep when it comes to our mind. So just ensure that you're going deep in a productive way. Pluto's a planet of transformation. So if you're going to observe your flaws, which yes, Mercury and Virgo may make you aware of, notice how it is that you can evolve from them. Like, hey, how can I ensure my microphone doesn't do this again? Hey, how can I be more gentle and loving to myself if there is a fluke with my equipment? Hey, how can I adjust my work schedule so that if I do get sick, I have the space to be able to recover without letting anybody down. Being solution oriented is important this week. And we are sort of building to reframe our vulnerabilities, our weaknesses into a source of strength as the Libra moon builds to oppose Chiron the next day. So I just want you to realize that where it is that you feel like you are not enough, you do not need to be perfect. And oftentimes those flaws and those vulnerabilities are what make you the person that you are and the magic that you human body. So more on that. Let's take it to Friday, October 7th, so I can really dive into this Chiron energy. So the sun opposes Chiron. This is part of the lunation on Sunday. So really allowing yourself the space the entire weekend to anchor in this energy, because the downside of Libra is that they do want to present this polished exterior. They want to be perfect, right? And they are very attuned to beauty and how things look. I am not calling Libra energy shallow. I love Libra. It's one of my favorite signs, but they do have this pressure to be and to present exactly what people want to see and exactly what people like. And with the opposition to Chiron, I want you to be very mindful around where it is that you feel like you are performing, or the connections that you feel like you have to put on an act for, present this thing. That moment when I was sitting down filming, having this pressure around, I need to be Haley Comet. I can't be sick. I can't not feel well. I need to show up consistently, even if I literally feel like I am going to pass out right now. I need to show up, right? And then my microphone not working. Just so funny how that works out. And with the reframing of Chiron, it's reframing our connection to that wound, because it illuminates it. So it's the ouch. It's the energy where we're cognizant around, wow, I'm performing. I don't feel safe to be my most authentic self. I feel like I need to project this Haley Comet thing online or in the retreat. And like, yes, that is part of who I'm being, and I'm not fake or disingenuous at all. But I am fake and disingenuous when I was sitting there trying to, muscle through being deeply, deeply sick. And the universe kind of knew that, so made my microphone fluke out. Like, it's the energy where it's like, baby, you're not okay, and that's okay. And sometimes when we give ourselves the space to let the mask down and stop pretending and being this polished thing, we allow other people to put their mask down too. Because truly, like, what I want to infuse in Magic Monday is how you can anchor in this astrology to live your most aligned life. Like, I would never sit here and tell you, like, you need to muscle through the pain. You can't allow yourself to be human. So like, why would I bring that energy forward? It's like, if I really want to be this vessel for love and for empowering people to live their most aligned life using astrology, how can I internally be a hypocrite and force myself to film when I am so sick and I need to rest? Like right now I feel like I'm not 100%, but I feel mostly better. But I just want to highlight, it was really cool just to see at the retreat, as well as from your all feedback, like this acceptance and this allowance, like, hey, you're a human and we are too. Everyone's dealing with stuff. Everybody has components of themselves that is not polished and is not perfect. And if anything, it makes you more relatable and your astrology more accessible, because no one wants to hear their weekly forecast from a robot. I'm not a robot. I'm not a Zoltar machine. I'm a human being. I'm an astrologer, and I love to share my craft, but I need to be able to give to myself and honor my authenticity in order to do that. So I just want to shine this energy out to you around where it is that you feel like you're not enough, like where it's like, dang, I'm the only one at this architecture firm who is into astrology, or like, dang, I always feel so awkward in social situations and everybody else has a level of ease that I can't relate to. Dang, it's like, what if you reshape that connection to that ouch, I'm different, ouch, I'm not enough, and really reshaped it around, wow, I'm so glad that I get to illuminate for people at the architecture firm how empowering astrology can be, and really allow myself to let my freak flag fly. So maybe Tom will feel more comfortable sharing about his Pokemon collection. Everybody feels more comfortable sharing their quirks and their weird interests that they're into, right? Or maybe you can reshape, okay, I always feel so out of place within social connections, but when I'm around, because I'm so hypervigilant, I always make other people feel at home, comfortable within the connection. Chiron is all about how we alchemize those wounds, and how instead of allowing them to trigger us, we reshape it, okay? And this is important with the full moon. Your weakness can be a strength. Your sensitivity is a gift, okay? Notice the ping, notice that energy where you do not feel like enough. I feel called to share with you a little bit more about Chiron, just in case anybody does have a strong Chiron emphasis within the chart. Chiron was a half centaur, half human. And I don't mean like a centaur is a half human, half horse. Like, I'm talking half centaur, half human. Like, he had two, in the traditional pictures of him, he had two human legs and like a horse butt. So it was bizarre. So the centaurs were like, you're too human. And the humans were like, you're too centaur. And his whole origin story, some of mythology, I'm just like, girl, what? Like, it's so funky. You can go read that yourself. I don't want to scar anybody on Magic Monday. But essentially, he had this profound feeling of never feeling at ease, never feeling like other people. And he could have taken that wound and been very bitter and jaded, but he transmuted it, and he was an astrologer, he was a healer, he was a doctor. Like, he was this incredible vessel for love. He did not allow that feeling of feeling on the outside or feeling not enough allow him to harden his heart. He just made it so that he would keep giving and believing in the good of humanity. And that is what this full moon is asking you to do. So I just want you to be conscious. Certainly, you're going to feel more sensitive this weekend. It's full moon. The moon's in Pisces on Friday. You're gonna feel a lot. The feels are coming to the surface. But I don't want you to view that as a negative. I want you to think of it as a renewing, cleansing energy to just let the mask down. You do not need to be perfect. No one is expecting you to be perfect. I know this society will make you feel that way, but you are a human being, okay? So allowing yourself the space and the grace to put down the mask and be like, this is just who I am, okay? Because when you do that, you allow the space for other people to do the same. And a bunch of people trying to be perfect is honestly quite boring. So let's just let it go. Other events on Friday, because keep in mind that Chiron energy will be pulled into the full moon, but other highlights, the Pisces moon sextiles Uranus in Taurus, which is creative, brainstorm, innovative energy, the sort of energy where it's asking you to stay focused on finding a solution. It does exist. If anything, with the Pisces moon, pray about it. Open yourself up to God or spirit or the universe and just be like, hey, I'm stuck. Go for a walk and just see if the Pisces moon doesn't drop in some wisdom for you. I'm telling you, with the Pisces moon also conjoining Neptune that night, allowing yourself to receive support from the universe, right? When we allow ourselves to let down the mask, stop faking to ourselves that we're perfect and stop faking to other people when we're perfect, and allow ourselves the space and the grace to ask for help, whether it's from other people or from the cosmos, magic and miracles ensue. So I want you to give yourself that space on Friday. And also the Pisces moon does square Mars and Gemini. Staying on track could be a challenge. Attention span could be a challenge. Give yourself a space to go for a little walk or something that allows you to inject a little magic within your day, because it can be very hard to just focus on minutia when the Pisces moon is like, wow, let's connect to the big picture. If you are going out on Friday, you know, with the Pisces moon conjoining Neptune, you could feel more exhausted, feel more drained. It just feels like the energy of a very, very busy week. And on Friday, you could just be feeling emotionally zapped and drained. If you do go out, being mindful with substances, you know what I say about Neptune, it leads to a little call around escape, escape. Don't escape, stay present. Maybe escape into a good movie or a good record or something lovely of that nature. On Saturday the 8th, the moon is void from 4:10 a.m. PDT to 8:57 a.m. PDT, at which point the moon enters Aries, the sign of the full moon. Closing aspect is a sextile to Pluto, and Pluto is shifting directions on Saturday. And as I've highlighted, you know, it is more common for the outer planets to be retrograde. They're more commonly retrograde out of the year than they are direct. But we do feel them more strongly when they change direction. So Saturday does feel like a Plutonian kind of day. And what does a Pluto kind of day entail, you may be asking? Well, here's the thing. Pluto is the planet of transformation. It's the planet of destruction and rebuilding. It's the planet of power. There is a lot to be said about this collectively. Moving to the end of this year, I'm literally looking at this astrology like, okay, this is wild. Let's all just stay in our protective bubbles of energy because this is a bit intense. Lots to be said about this collectively. I do try within this readings to mostly focus on you, your world, how this is coming to the surface within your world. And I do want to highlight, with Pluto changing direction, there is this call to be able to anchor in transformation within our external world. So truly with Pluto retrograde, the lens was inward around, okay, where are these blockages coming to the surface? What's going on within my psyche? With Pluto direct, it's like, let's echo out this transformation. So it's like within my meltdown, on the plane, I sort of had this aha moment where I'm just like, where is this pressure coming from? It's not brain surgery. I'm just popping on YouTube and having a horoscope. Like, the world is truly not going to end. And it led to this interesting dialogue around, where did this pressure come from and how can I ensure that I like show up in a balanced, practical way, which also is because of Mercury retrograde. But I highlight this because with Pluto direct, it's like, okay, now that we've had these illuminations and these kind of deep dives into our psyche, what are we going to do about it? How are we going to really commit and promote transformation? And with Pluto, I always think of it as very intimate, deep, because it goes deep, right? And with Mercury trine Pluto, it's like Mercury in Virgo does want perfection, but you know, Mercury in Virgo's been going through it retrograde. So it's like, hey, you can film the content you want and sometimes things just go wrong. You can try to do all the things and be all the people, and sometimes you just get sick. Sometimes things just aren't perfect. And yes, the Mercury in Virgo can get very neurotic and nervous about that. But the trine to Pluto, it's like, let's just be real. Let's just be honest. Let's get to the core of it. Like when you have Pluto strong within a birth chart, there is this desire for deep intimacy and authenticity. It's typically a deep soul diver, someone who reinvents themselves over and over again. And with this Pluto energy baked into this astrology, it's just this energy about, hey, let me just be real. Let's be honest, okay? Let's let the mask down. Let's really allow ourselves to be seen, and that's uncomfortable. Like Pluto is a planet of power, but earned power. The sort of power that comes when you allow what you've built yourself up to be, or what you've allowed other people to build yourself up to be, when you allow that to be crumbled down because you know you can rebuild. That's the sort of strength that Pluto has. So I do want to highlight, Saturday could be intense. There's a lot of illuminations baking with the illumination of the full moon, and there's a lot of intensity that can be coming to the surface. And the best thing that you can do is look your shadow self in the eye, look what parts of yourself you push into the darkness, look where you are putting on a mask, and allow yourself to be seen in your most vulnerable state, and realize that that is where your true power lies. And on Saturday the 8th, the moon enters Aries at 8:57 a.m. Keep in mind, this is the sign of the building lunation. The Aries moon does conjoin Jupiter, which is an expansive, adventurous energy. With the energy in Aries, it is bold, it is courageous, it is challenge-oriented. Saturday would be such a lovely day to get outside, allow yourself to feel powerful. With Pluto stationing direct and the Aries moon conjoining Jupiter, building confidence via conquering challenges, whether that challenge is like climbing to the top of the mountain or coming on camera without makeup or whatever it is, where it's like allowing yourself to build confidence in a way that's not being polished and perfect, in a way that's being honest and raw and courageous and challenge oriented. On Sunday the 9th, the Aries full moon exacts at 1:55 p.m. PDT. And do keep in mind, I have done a whole video on that lunation for all signs. You can check that out. But I do want to highlight a couple of themes about it. So this lunation does oppose Venus in Libra. Keep in mind, Venus in Libra wants everybody to get along. It wants to be perfect and polished. And there's almost this energy with it opposing this full moon where it's like, you know, we just can't be polished all the time. I wanted to come on here with my little pearl hair clips in the prior 2 takes, and it just didn't work out. The technology didn't work out. My health didn't work out. And with the full moon, it's almost this energy around just taking the mask down, just being like, hey, I try to be polished, I try to be perfect, I try to be everything that you want me to be. Keep in mind, with the Libra energy, it's other people, it's connections. And connections are amazing and relationships are amazing, but they're not worth it if you feel like you have to perform or be perfect for them, right? And it just feels like a surrender, this full moon. And not surrender in terms around like giving up and allowing that to be weak, but a surrender around, I'm sick of performing, I'm sick of trying. Okay, this is who I am. This is who I am. Weaknesses and all. And with the conjunction to Chiron, it's almost like an exposed nerve, like showing the most intimate parts of ourselves, but then realizing that it's deserving of love and that we love it and that other people love it, and actually makes us more lovable when we integrate it into our personality rather than pretending that it doesn't exist, pretending that we're these perfect robots. So there is this freedom of this full moon and rawness and authenticity. And with the sextile to Saturn and Aquarius, it can be something that, you know, is productive and builds us forward. So I do deeply encourage you to check out that video to see how you can celebrate what it's bringing to the surface within your chart, within your world. I want to take it into the Magic Monday mantra of the week, which is, I allow myself to be seen in my deepest vulnerabilities. And this week's astrology is really about allowing ourselves to take the mask down, which is interesting because a lot of the cosmos are in Virgo and Libra, which are the 2 most perfectionist energies of astrology, truly. And they have this immense pressure on themselves. And, you know, that can build and build and build this pressure to be perfect and polished and likable and popular. But it just feels like this just like this dam bursting where it's just like, I can't pretend anymore. I just can't. And I adore Aries energy so much. A lot of my best friends are Aries, and they really just give me the space to be myself because they are themselves, because they are raw. They cannot fake the funk. They just are who they are. And with this lunation, it's saying, hey, you are imperfect. And that imperfection is what makes you the astrologer that you are, the friend you are, the sister you are, the brother you are, the employee that you are, the lawyer you are, whatever the role that you play within this world. You have to show up for yourself and be honest with yourself to authentically relate and show up for other people. And I just want you to be conscious around when you're spending time with people, where do you feel like you have to perform? Like, what connections do you leave and you just feel drained and exhausted? I hope Mercury retrograde in Libra helped you tune into that. But I want you to begin to observe where it is that you feel it is not safe to be seen, and recoding this week to allow yourself to be seen in all of your quirks and eccentricities and rawness, and know that it's what makes you you, and it grants you your unique power. So my loves, feels so good to be sitting here and sharing with you. Thank you so much for granting me the space to be so honest about my journey. Hopefully it helped deepen your connection to this week's astrology and wasn't as rambly as I feel like it may have been within my head. But again, I'm challenging myself this week to be authentic and raw and all of the things, because I'm challenging you to do that as well. So my loves, my Instagram handle is @HaleyComet Astrology. My TikTok is the same. I would love to connect with you over there. Don't forget, you can use code COMET, COMET 2020 for 20% off Magic Mind. I deeply recommend it. Helps me get in the flow, particularly when I'm working on getting my health back up. And until we meet again, see you next Monday. I pinky promise. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay magical.